This first story, this is breaking news. First story on breaking news is crisis avoided. Crisis avoided. A lot of times we don't realize the work that our government does, and we always try to hold the government accountable for the things that they do wrong, but we don't give them their accolades and their props, and also the people that proactively helped law enforcement. So, a man was looking to do a mass airport shooting in Atlanta, and probably one of my least favorite airports. Atlanta airport, man, it's such a headache. You got to catch this. You got to go over to this way. You got to catch the train under the ground and go over to the next terminal and all of this. Oh, man. If you got a layover in Atlanta, make it at least 2 hours because you may not make it, bro. If you got a layover in Atlanta, make sure you make it at least 2 hours because it's a strong possibility that you may not make it. You may not make your flight if you got a 45-minute layover in Atlanta, all right? But this is what's happening, and then we're going to deep dive into it a little bit more over in Atlanta at Hartsfield Airport.
We do begin tonight with the breaking news at the busiest airport here in the U.S., Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta. Tonight, authorities say they moved in quickly to avert what could have been a horrific mass shooting, they say. The suspect's family alerting police a short time before the takedown. Surveillance video tonight showing the suspect walking through the airport. Authorities believe he may have been monitoring the busy TSA lines. Yeah. The airport crowded with travelers. You can hear the suspect right there. Police body camera video showing the moment he's confronted by the officers, taken down. The suspect screaming as he's placed in handcuffs. Authorities say just outside the airport, they recovered an AR-15 assault-style rifle and 27 rounds of ammunition in his truck. Police believe he was scoping out the airport before going back out to his truck where he had that weapon and ammunition. Faith Abube leading us off tonight. She's on the scene in Atlanta.
Tonight, a potential mass shooting thwarted at the world's busiest airport during rush hour. This is the moment police say 49-year-old Billy Cagle enters Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport with plans to open fire in the terminal. An assault rifle and 27 rounds of ammunition just steps away in his truck.
I do believe that Mr. Cagle was headed back to his truck to retrieve it. And I do believe he was likely to use that weapon inside the crowded terminal that he had just seen.
Police say this surveillance video shows Cagle parking that truck outside the packed terminal today around 9:30.
He didn't even try to park it the right way. He didn't even try to pull over. He just parked right there in front of the terminal, went in to do a little bit of an observation, was going back outside to go and get his AR, and then he was going to cause mass havoc. It's a lot of people that could have died. And let me give a round of applause to the authorities. Let me also give a round of applause to the family members that knew that he was going to do this and didn't wait for it to happen. Actually saved some lives. Most of the time, it's somebody somewhere that could have prevented something from happening, and they let it happen, and then they sit there acting like they didn't know what was going on. We see it happens in our neighborhoods. We see it happen in our communities. We know what's about to happen before it happened. And very few people actually have the balls or the wherewithal to save somebody else's life and not let a tragedy happen. That's a blessing. That is a blessing.
A.M. Cagle walking inside, appearing to survey the TSA lines.
He knew he was over, too. He knew it was over. He probably had that pit in his stomach.
Be very interested in the TSA check-in area, which you can see was heavily crowded with travelers.
It's then that officers approach Cagle after police say they received a tip from the suspect's hometown more than an hour away.
Hartsville Police Department was alerted by the family of Mr. Cagle that he was streaming on social media. That he was headed to the airport, in their words, to shoot it up.
Officers immediately taking Cagle into custody right there in the terminal. Later searching that truck where police say they found an AR-15 style rifle and ammunition.
27 or more lives could have been lost today. This crisis, we're thankful to God and to good information and good intel and good people for this crisis being averted.
First time I didn't ever agree with this mayor. It says we thankful to God. I didn't agree with him when he went and met with Kamala Harris prior to them actually going after Trump, but we can be objective and say God is good all the time.
And David, authorities flagging that family for flagging those basically what was or could have been a really difficult situation. In the meantime, the authorities are saying that suspect is a convicted felon with mental.
He was live on Twitch.
Health issues, and tonight, in the meantime, the authorities are saying that suspect is a convicted felon with mental health issues, and tonight he is behind bars on multiple.
We gotta stop saying listen. One of the most overused sayings today is, oh no, they had mental health issues. No, you just out of your mind and you crazy. One of the most overused statements today is, oh no, they just had mental health issues. No, you knew what you was doing. You was going in there, you was doing surveillance, you was scouting out. You knew exactly what you was getting. You knew how to download Twitch, didn't you? I don't even know if I know how to download Twitch. I'm not even on Twitch. I don't even know how to set up to be a Twitch streamer. You knew more than I knew when it came to streaming, so you knew exactly what you was getting. Hey, listen, the convicted felon part, I'm with it. All of this, oh no, it's mental health. It's mental health month. This is called you acting like you ain't got no sense and you out of your mind, and so you want to go out here and you want to do something negative to other people, especially when it's premeditated. This ain't even like spirit of moment. This is a premeditated, you walking in there to go and scope it out, and now you find yourself in a negative situation. That ain't mental health. That's called you being held accountable. It's a mental health situation. It's mental health, guys.
This morning, crisis averted at the world's busiest airport. The family of Billy Joe Cagle called police to report he was armed.
Hold on. Let me see something. I know I'm not hearing things, right? Let me see something.
We do begin tonight with the breaking news at the busiest airport here in the U.S., Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta. Tonight, authorities say they moved in quickly to avert what could have been a horrific mass shooting, they say. The suspect's family alerting police a short time before the takedown.
Okay, I thought this was, hold on, let me see something.
Surveillance video tonight showing the suspect walk crowded with police body camera placed in hand, a rifle out the airport. This off tonight.
Shooting thwarted at the world's busiest. Tonight, a potential mass shooting thwarted at the world's busiest.
Okay, I thought I had heard like the exact same script. It's not the exact same script. You know, I'd be getting upset at that.
Live streaming on social media and headed to the Atlanta airport. Surveillance video shows Cagle walking around a crowded terminal where he is confronted by officers. Police say he was not armed when they found him, but they did find an AR-15 with 27 rounds of ammunition inside his truck, which was parked just outside. CNN's Isabel Rosales has details.
This started at 9:29 in the morning, where Billy Cagle, he's on video arriving there at the South Terminal. 2 minutes later, he leaves his car outside and then goes inside of the airport. The police chief here in Atlanta saying that he was very interested in the TSA check-in area that was heavily crowded with travelers. Now, by 9:40 a.m., this is when Cartersville Police Department, an hour north of Atlanta, alerts APD that there's a potential threat because they were hearing from the family of the suspect that he was on social media streaming, that he was armed, that he was headed to the airport to, quote, shoot it up. Cartersville police saying that he had, quote, intention to inflict harm to as many people as he could. Now, by 9:54, he was arrested there on the ground, not armed. This would have been 15 minutes since that first call came in to APD.
All right, with us now, CNN senior national security analyst Julia Kayyem. Julia, good to see you this morning. What went right here?
The family went right. We are consistently urging family members, community members to notify police when they have suspicions, when they see, in this case, you know, this sort of performative live streaming of potential violence. Too often, family members either think they can handle it themselves or sort of deny it in their own minds. And so the family basically stopped what looked like, from all details, was going to be an attempted mass shooting at the country's largest airport.
Yeah, it's impossible to know what would have happened had the family not called. But can you decipher anything about how deep he actually got into the airport, where he's walking around live streaming with his phone there? What maybe red flags that should have raised independent of the family calling?
Yes. Well, I mean, the first is, of course, the way he parked his car outside of what's presumably the departure area. It's angled. It's a truck in terms of could it be carrying explosives. Airports really do generally have a way to identify those and then to move them, because I'm not even thinking about the gun in the car. The second is he's looking at soft areas at an airport, and there's always going to be soft, more exposed areas of an airport as you go to the hardened part, which is of course the TSA line. That area is going to be the most congested because people are going from free flow to secure flow, and there's always going to be a buildup, and that's always been a worry. You saw police are constantly there, but it wouldn't have taken much for him to go in, check it out, see where he maybe wanted to do something, get the gun, which is probably a 1-minute walk away. And so, I think Atlanta Airport Police are going to have to assess, in particular, that sort of 10-minute lag when the car's there and he's in the airport.
Yeah, look, I don't know exactly where it was situated at the Atlanta airport, which I've been in quite frequently, but generally speaking, you can't park a car like that, anywhere near the drop-offs or pickups and then walk away. And at a lot of airports you're at, they'll stop you the minute you try something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you see, I mean, was he casing, the airport? Was he doing this performative thing because he was in stress and wanted people to know? Like, at this stage, I don't want to guess it anymore. I mean, we have too many mass shootings, too many exposed areas. And so, the family did right, but this is going to be a prosecution with the intent of that he.
And they need to lock him up under the jail. They need to lock him up under the prison. I think that, first of all, again, I'm just happy that it's not a lot of people that we have to have a conversation about, and that this is not going that other way. You know how it is. We didn't have too many of those live streams, breaking news, mass shooting at Atlanta airport. We didn't have too many of those. And so I'm just thankful that we are now at a situation, or in a situation, where we're discussing the success of thwarting something like this from ever happening. So again, shout out to the people that called the police. Shout out to the people that were proactive about it. And then also shout out to the police officers and the people that arrested this guy. And hopefully, we don't ever see this happen again.